So we have 3 major sessions throughout the day. So we have London, and that's gonna open at 8 a.m. GMT. That session then opens into the New York session at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Then we have another one that actually opens up right here at 9:30, and that's the stock market, and that's EST. Now, we don't want to forget the Asian session, which actually opens up before. And the Asian session opens up at 9 a.m., I believe. So the interesting thing is this is actually not the same times for each individual market. And the other thing you're gonna have to take note of is if there is daylight savings time in each of these time zones. London and New York have daylight savings times at different parts of different weeks of the year. Japan does not have daylight savings time, so this will be plus or minus 1 hour, and all of these will be plus or minus 1 hour as well if you're in an area that is not those specific times. So we have another session that is the one you want to avoid. So this is at 4 p.m. New York time. So 4 p.m. New York time until 9 a.m. Japan time is actually the no trade zone. We don't want to trade during that time because the spreads are going to get really wide, the liquidity is going to get really wide, and a lot of markets are actually untradeable at that time, and you can't close trades at all either. Now, key pairs you're going to want to trade are, in here you're going to want to trade Euro pairs and the pound pairs and the Swissy. Here in Japan time, you're gonna be wanting to trade the yen, and you're gonna be wanting to trade. There is another session here that opens, it's the Aussie, but nobody really pays attention to it. And you're gonna be wanting to trade AUD and NZD, right? In the New York time, you're gonna be wanting to trade the CAD, you're gonna be wanting to trade the US dollar and the stock market. Now, there are other stock exchanges for each of these, like the German stock exchange and the Nikkei, but generally those aren't traded as much. Now, what happens when you leave a trade going here into the rollover? Generally, what's gonna happen is it's gonna be a giant spike in either direction, and the spreads are going to widen. Right? So if you have a trade going and you have a stop loss here and you're long, that stop loss will get hit down here when those spreads widen. So generally you do not want to have trades open in that rollover. You're also going to hit by swap fees. If you're trading on a firm that has swaps, fortunately Maven does not. And then after this allotted time, which is about 2 hours, the market will reopen and price will go back to normal.